Hey everyone, it's Graham here. Today's video is all about breaking down airport lounge access from a Canadian perspective. I'm going to cover all the ways to get into these exclusive airport lounges, whether it's through credit card perks, business class tickets, or just some cold hard cash. So grab a seat and let's get started. Now first off, not all airport lounges are created equal, and knowing the different types can make a big difference when planning your trip. Let's break them down into three main categories so you know exactly what you're getting into before you flash your boarding pass. First up, we have airline-owned lounges. Most major airlines have their own network of lounges, and these can range from decent to spectacular. Take Air Canada for example. They have their Maple Leaf lounges for regular passengers, but if you're flying business class and have the right ticket, you can get access to their signature suites, a serious upgrade with a la carte dining and premium drinks. Other airlines like United or American have a similar setup where they have a base level lounge for regular business class passengers and then a more premium offering for those flying on long haul business class flights. Next up are bank-owned lounges. These are less common but offer top-notch experiences. The biggest player here is American Express. Their Centurion lounges are among the best in the world with gourmet dining, premium drinks, and chic decor. Though we don't have any of them in Canada yet, please Amex, come to Canada. They're worth visiting in any of their major hubs, and there are a ton across the whole world, not just the US. There are some smaller scale examples of bank lounges in Canada as well. For example, the National Bank of Canada has a lounge in Montreal, and Desjardins just opened one there too. Finally, we have contract lounges, the wild cards of the lounge world. These are run by third-party companies and are accessible via programs like Priority Pass. Quality can vary dramatically, even within the same brand. One Plaza Premium Lounge might be a sad corner with a few sandwiches, like the one I visited in Kuala Lumpur would be a hidden gem with delicious food, excellent service, and a la carte meals. The key here is to do just a little bit of research beforehand. Some of these lounges are recently renovated and fantastic, while others might be just a place to grab a quick drink and a snack before you get on your flight. So what's the takeaway here? Airline-owned lounges are usually a safe bet, bank-owned lounges are rare gems, and contract lounges, well, they can be either hit or miss, so proceed with caution. Now surprisingly, one of the easiest and cheapest ways to get into these lounges for Canadians is with a credit card. When it comes to credit cards, you've got two main types of access: limited pass cards and unlimited access cards. So let's start with the basics. Some credit cards, often branded as travel credit cards, offer a certain number of lounge passes per year. Usually limited pass cards offer 4 to 6 passes per year, which means you can either spread them out across a few trips or use them all once during one big blowout family vacation. I'm going to put links to my favorite travel credit cards with lounge access passes in the description. Many are first year free as well, so enjoy. Some of these are referral links, which really helps support my channel and also gets you the best offer available. I really appreciate you if you use it. If you're a frequent flyer like me, you might want to look at the unlimited access card. And for Canadians, there's really only two main heavy hitter categories here. There's the American Express Platinum card and the Aeroplan specific cards. These are the Amex Aeroplan Reserve, the TD Aeroplan Visa Infinite Privilege, or the CIBC Aeroplan Visa Infinite Privilege. The Amex Platinum card gives you unlimited access to a ginormous network of lounges globally. But, and this is a big but, it does not give you access to Air Canada's Maple Leaf lounges. So if you're a big Air Canada flyer, this card probably isn't for you. Now on the other hand, the Aeroplan cards give you unlimited access to Maple Leaf lounges, but not any of the other lounges that the Amex Platinum covers. So the choice here is really simple. If you're loyal to Air Canada, then the Aeroplan cards definitely make sense. But if you want flexibility and access to a much wider range of lounges across the entire globe, the Amex Platinum is definitely the way to go. Just keep in mind that these unlimited access cards come with a hefty price tag, somewhere around 500 to 800 Canadian annually. I have tons of tips to get value out of these cards, and if you do apply, I really appreciate you using my referral links for these as well. Also, if you're looking at the Platinum, I did a full breakdown of how I get thousands of dollars of value from the card. Oh, and one more thing on these unlimited access cards, you can typically bring a guest in with you for free. This makes a huge difference if you're traveling with a spouse or friend often. In contrast, if you're using one of those limited passes, it's one pass per person. So if you want to bring a guest, you're going to be burning through 2 passes. The next way to gain access to lounges is by flying in a premium cabin like business class or first class. But of course, it's not as straightforward as it sounds. Every airline has its own set of rules. Why can't we all get on the same page? Oh well, let's break down the most relevant ones for Canadians. If you're flying business class with Air Canada, you get access to their Maple Leaf lounges. Pretty simple, right? But make sure to note, you get access to the lounge before your flight. not on arrival. So if you're flying from Toronto to Vancouver in business class, you can use the Maple Leaf Lounge in Toronto, but not in Vancouver when you land. Make sense? Good. This is the case for all the next lounges too. If you're flying with United Airlines, which partners with Air Canada in the Star Alliance, you get a similar lounge access deal. But there is a catch. You only get United Club access if you're flying internationally in business class. Now, United does count Canada as an international destination. Sometimes it doesn't count, but in this case it does. So even if you're taking a short hop from New Jersey to Toronto, you can get access to their United clubs. This also means that if you're on a connecting flight, let's say Houston to Newark to Toronto, you'll get access at both airports since it's considered part of your international itinerary. Now let's talk about WestJet. While they've beefed up their business class product to rival Air Canada, their lounge access rules are very strict. You don't automatically get lounge access with a business class ticket unless you're flying on one of their 787 Dreamliners. These are typically on long-haul flights out of Calgary to destinations like Europe, Asia, or Hawaii. If you're on one of these flights, you'll get access to their WestJet Elevation Lounge in Calgary, which, by the way, is probably one of the best base-level domestic lounges in the entire world. Delta, a partner of WestJet's, also has very similar lounge access rules. You only get lounge access if you're flying in their Delta One cabin, which is their long-haul business class product. Domestic first class on Delta, sorry, no lounge for you. But here's a hack. If you have the Amex Platinum, you can use your card to get into all the Delta Sky Clubs whenever you're flying Delta, as long as you're booked in a main cabin class or higher. I have never flown American Airlines and their rules are super confusing, so if someone understands them, please let me know in the comments. Now, what if you don't have a fancy credit card or a business class ticket? No worries. You can actually just pay for lounge access a lot of the time. Even if you're flying economy and don't have any special perks, many lounges will let you pay to get in. This option isn't as widely known, but it can be a lifesaver if you've got a long layover or just want to escape the chaos of the terminal. But of course, there's a catch. When it comes to paid access, you're often at the bottom of the priority list. If the lounge is packed, which is more common than you'd expect these days thanks to rotten travel bloggers who give away all their secrets on the internet, they'll prioritize business class passengers, loyalty members, and those with credit card access first. If the lounge is full, sorry, no room for you. But if you get lucky and they've got space, paying your way in can actually be a great deal. Let's break it down. Airport food, way overpriced. And airport drinks, do not even get me started. So instead of shelling out $15 for a sad sandwich and $20 for a basic cocktail, why not treat yourself to a mini all-inclusive experience inside of a lounge? One set price, all you can enjoy. Think of it as a pre-flight buffet where you can drink responsibly but get way more bang for your buck compared to the airport bar. Pricing to get into lounges does vary widely depending on the lounge and airport, but I've seen it range from anywhere from 40 to 80 Canadian dollars per person. You'll want to double check if there are any restrictions like a time limit or drink limit. It's always smart to do a little bit of research before you commit. Check out the specific lounge you're eyeing, see if they offer paid access, and look up any conditions that might apply. If you're eyeing one of those unlimited lounge access cards, here's a few tips to get more bang for your buck. One thing that you can do that they don't publish is lounge hopping. This is especially easy if you have an Amex Platinum card and a priority pass, which comes free with the Amex Platinum card. Some airports, like Calgary, have multiple lounges that you can use accessing the different cards. For example, you can start in the WestJet Elevation Lounge with your priority pass, and then hop over to the Plaza Premium Lounge using your Amex Platinum. Is it necessary? No, but for me, it's fun to experience all the different lounges around the world. Pro tip, airports like Hong Kong or Singapore Changi are perfect for lounge hopping. You can spend hours exploring all the lounges available to you, sampling different food and drinks, and even taking a shower or two. Now let's dive into a lesser known strategy that not many people seem to be talking about when it comes to maximizing airport lounge access with an unlimited access card, and that's using supplementary cards. Here's how it works. Let's say you already have an Amex Platinum card, which comes with an annual fee that's 799 CAD. Ouch, right? But here's a sneaky little trick. You can add a supplementary card for someone else, a spouse, a family member, or a really good friend who you trust, for only 250 Canadian a year. And guess what? They get the same unlimited airport lounge access benefits that you have. So why does this matter? Because it's a huge cost saver if you're not always traveling together. Maybe you and your spouse both travel frequently, but not always on the same itinerary. Instead of shelling out 2 full annual fees at $800 each, you're paying $800 for the primary card and only $250 for the supplementary. That's a combined total of $1,050 instead of $1,600. Big difference. But it doesn't stop there. Supplementary cards can be a real game changer for family travel. Let's say you're a family of 4 and you've got your Amex Platinum card and your spouse has a supplementary card. Now you you and your spouse both have unlimited lounge access separately, and each of you can bring in one guest, meaning you're covered for lounge access for your entire family of 4. And there's a fun little Canadian exception on the Amex Platinum. If you're a Canadian card holder, you can bring 2 guests for free into Amex Centurion lounges. This is a big deal because for American card holders, they now have to pay $50 USD per guest, no free guests at all. So while our neighbors to the south are digging into their wallets, we Canucks can breeze into the lounge with +2, no extra charge. Cheers to that. Now, let's touch on etiquette. Yes, lounges are often self-serve, and it's tempting to pour yourself a triple scotch before your flight, but with great power comes great responsibility. I've seen people make a mess of the self-serve bar or buffet, trying to sneak out snacks. It's just not a good look. Treat the space with respect so that it remains a perk for all of us. And finally, avoid getting too comfortable and missing your flight. It happens more than you might think. So that's the rundown on airport lounge access from a Canadian flyer's perspective. Whether you're using credit card perks, business class tickets, or just a bit of cash, there are plenty of ways to get into these lounges without breaking the bank. Until next time, happy flying and lounge hopping. See you in the skies, or at least the airport lounge.